Do you have any updates to share, Minister?
Canada's Foreign Affairs Minister calls the killing of 2 staffers of the Israeli embassy in Washington both appalling and horrifying.
The rise in anti-Semitism is unacceptable, and it must stop.
The Prime Minister posting online, "This hate is intolerable, and I condemn it in its strongest terms." But ministers in Israel are trying to connect Canada and other countries to it.
There is a direct line connecting anti-Semitic and anti-Israeli incitement to this murder. This incitement is also done by leaders and officials of many countries.
Earlier this week, Canada, the UK, and France threatened action if Israel doesn't halt military operations in Gaza and allow in humanitarian aid. Israel's Prime Minister taking direct aim at all 3 leaders, including Mark Carney.
Now, these leaders may think that they're advancing peace. They're not. They're emboldening Hamas to continue fighting forever.
But others say Israel is just trying to scare off any more criticism.
To try and score political points over the death of 2 young people in Washington. I really find it almost despicable.
This all unfolding a day after Canada said Israeli Defense Forces fired shots in the vicinity of a large group of diplomats in the occupied West Bank. 4 members of a Canadian delegation, including one of its top-ranking officials, were there. Israel's Prime Minister called it an accident. Canada summoned his ambassador for answers.
When the choice of a new government is immediately to step out in the open and to come out with formal accusations and formal summons and so on, the response from the Prime Minister Netanyahu is very clear, that this is not the way that we see it conducive not to the situation and not to the relations.
Canada, the UK, and France say they plan on joining other countries to recognize a Palestinian state at a UN conference next month about a 2-state solution. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Ottawa.
Jews in Canada are reeling tonight, but while community leaders here are expressing anger, some say, sadly, they're not shocked. Vanessa Lee explains.
Outside of the Israeli consulate in Montreal, a vigil for Sarah Lee Milgram and Yaron Lashinsky.
We need to show the world we're there and we not go away.
Police in Montreal, Ottawa, and Toronto say they are stepping up patrols around Jewish institutions as a precaution after Wednesday's shooting in Washington.
While we have not received any direct requests from community members to be out there, we have previously in the past. And in this particular circumstance, we've made the strategic decision to get our officers out there, show the colors, and make sure that the community knows that they can go about their day being safe.
In Canada's largest city, police say Jews were the target of nearly 40% of all hate crimes last year, even though they represent around 4% of the population. Members of the community say they don't need stats to know there has been a rise in anti-Semitism.
We see it when we walked into the event last night at Beth Tzedek Synagogue and we had to go through metal detectors. When we drop our kids at a Jewish day school or we visit a Jewish community center and there is police on duty outside the institution, private security hired to keep us safe.
I don't know any other community that has to spend $2.1 million on protecting its people.
The rabbi at this Vancouver synagogue that was the target of arson last year says this latest attack reaffirms a disturbing feeling. Jews are not safe anywhere.
Inevitable, too strong a word. Not surprised? I'm definitely not surprised.
Canadian Jewish leaders are repeating their calls for all levels of government to take decisive and immediate action, as they fear hate will lead to fatal consequences here at home. Vanessa Lee, CBC News, Montreal.